in landscaping, not everything's on the level, and it can be a good thing sometimes. Look up here at the corner of our barn. If you follow down to where we are here, there's about a 6-foot drop from that point to here.
Yeah.
And that's great because it runs the water off and away from the barn, keeping it dry. Now, say you wanted to put in a patio, and see what I marked out right here?
Yeah.
Little flags on about a 16-foot square.
Okay.
If we wanted to put a patio in, we want minimal pitch on the patio, so when you're sitting here, you don't feel like you're going sideways. Now, in order to do that, we have to establish a level line.
How do we get started?
Let me show you. Establishing grade is all about establishing a level line, and I'm going to show you 3 different methods on how to do that. The first one's going to involve a string line and a line level, and in order to do that one, we have to drive some stakes into the ground. Now, these are wooden grade stakes, hardwood with a point on them, and they're really rigid. They're not going to bend. First mistake people make, they would drive the stake in right at the corner of the patio. If you do that, there's no way to dig out around it. You'll loosen it, it'll fall over, you'll lose your grade. So what I like to do is pull it back a couple feet and drive it in. Do the same thing down the other corner, and we'll set up our string line. Now, Kevin, in order to use a line level, we have to set up a line.
Makes sense.
Yeah. What I have here is a nylon line.
And so why your preference for nylon?
Well, it's strong. You can see it's orange. It makes it visible so we won't trip over it. And it has really good strength. I can pull it tight. I wouldn't use cotton or jute because they sag or they snap.
Okay.
So now I'm going to take this down. I'm going to go about halfway down, and we're going to attach a line level to it. Now, it's very simply a small spirit level with 2 attachments to go on the string.
So really just the bubble here, and you want me to put this on the string?
Yeah, just make sure you're about mid-level, midway through the run. Now just snap that on.
Okay.
Okay. Now I'm going to pull it tight, really tight. I don't want any sag in that line at all.
Down a hair?
Down a hair.
Yep. About an inch.
Okay, now I'm going to pull it really tight. Let's see where we are. How's that look?
All right, you're going to have to come down just a hair.
Okay, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie this off, and I'm simply going to tap the post down a little bit. Tell me when.
Keep coming. Down a hair. Hang on, let's see. That's it, right there.
Okay, now with a level line established, let's see what it tells us about existing grade. If I measure down from the line here, I see we're 6 inches below the line. We'll come over to this high spot, and we're 5. But if you look down here, Kevin, we are 11 inches below the line.
So if we say wanted to work off of this high spot, the level line now tells us how much we have to fill exactly on the left side and on the right side.
To get a level patio.
All right, level line, that's the first. You promised me 3.
Right. The next method is very old, but it's very simple. It's called a water level. Now, the basic water level is simply a clear tube that we're going to fill with water. In this case, we've dyed the water red using food coloring. And we're going to just take the tube, insert it in the reservoir. I'm going to hold this end down lower, and I'm going to create suction. And the water's just going to go all the way through the tube.
Here it comes. I'll hold this.
Yep, you got it?
Yep.
I'm just going to wait for it to come all the way down. Once the tube is full, I like to let it run for about 30 seconds to get all the air bubbles out. Now, the basic theory behind a water level is that water seeks its own level. Now, if I take both ends of the tube, you notice we don't fill it all the way. We leave the water down a little bit. The dyed water will find its own level, whether it's together, a foot apart, or in our case, 16 feet apart.
All right.
So what we're going to do is you're going to hold that on the string line. Make sure you put your thumb over the end of the tube while we're moving it. Kevin, I'm going to move my end of the tube up and down, and that's going to cause the water level at your end to change. You tell me when you're exactly at the string line.
Up, please. Up, up. Hold it. Come down. Up, right about there.
Okay. I'm going to mark that, and that means we're exactly level here as we are at the string line. Now, the beauty of the water level is if I just put my finger over the pipe and don't kink the line, I can go down to this next stake. Now, tell me how I am now.
Up, up, whoa, up a hair. Oh, right there, Roger. Perfect. Hey, this is great. He should get a patent on this thing.
I don't think so, Kevin. This water level's been around a long time, but I do have something more high-tech for you.
Oh, great. Number 3.
Now, Kevin, this is a laser level. It's mounted on a tripod. When you turn it on, it's self-leveling, levels itself perfectly
Nice
every
feature.
time. So then it spins around and it shoots a laser out in 360 degrees. Now, to complement that system, we have a receiver. Now, the receiver is mounted on a transit rod, and the transit rod is marked off with feet and inches. And when it gets that signal from the transit, right there, I'm perfectly level.
All right, and that's
With the
marked off in
transit.
inches, right?
Yep. Now I'm going to go over here to the string line. I'm just going to put it on the string line, and I'm going to lower the receiver until I get a level line.
And what do we do with this measurement?
Well, I'm actually going to use it to check our water line.
And you don't trust the water?
Well, I don't trust anything. So if I lower this rod down, and when I get the level tone, it should be right on that mark.
Oh, perfect.
Okay? Now the beauty of this is I can now go over to any other stake and mark off the same point all the way around the patio.
Get a level point as many times in as many places in this yard.
And it's a one-man operation.